Hello YouTube, this is Purity here. This is something I don't normally do. Well, it is something I normally do. It's not something that I've recorded and uploaded. I'm gonna rant a little bit for you. This is about voting, and basically, a couple people I work with raised the question to me, who are you voting for? And the simple answer is I'm not voting. And one of the people that asked me this, they got they acted like they were almost offended, like, why aren't you voting? And and I have a simple answer for that one. It's a point that George Carlin already has made, and if any of you, it might be kind of weird to some of you who, I don't know, don't really pay attention to what George Carlin said, but the man makes a lot of sense, and so I took from what he said about voting, and I just thought about it, and so voting. If you vote, you have no right to complain. That was George Carlin's original stand on it. And a lot of people, like George Carlin said, will try to flip that around. They'll try to say, no, if you don't vote, you didn't voice your opinion. Now, that's true. You didn't voice your opinion. But if, say, I were to vote for somebody and he didn't get elected, the people who did elect the person that fucks up the country would be upset by hearing me, rant and rave about how they're idiots. And besides, anybody that we elect, George Carlin said this too. I mean, this isn't original stuff for me. This is just me explaining why I don't vote. And anybody that we elect is American. They were raised in America. They had American families. They were brought up the same way we are. It's not like they don't go into politics having morals and wanting to do good. It's just with power comes corruption. And so I don't vote because no matter who we vote for, there's going to be something to complain about, even if it's not a big deal. People are going to make a big deal out of it because that's the person that we can blame, is the president. Another reason I don't vote, like I said before, if you vote, you have no right to complain. And my reasoning for this is that when you vote, you're participating in the election, you're participating in the system, which shows that you have faith in it. Because if I have faith, if I don't have faith in something, I don't do it. And people talk about how the voting is stupid and the popular vote doesn't matter, it's all the electoral colleges. This is all I hear when people talk about voting, yet they go out and vote anyway. And I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me that if you vote and participate in the voting that you already agree is a stupid system, and then elect people that you're upset with being in office. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. How you can complain when you're participating in it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Another thing that doesn't make sense to me is the whole separation of church and state, but yet the state steps in to ban things like gay marriage for no reason other than the fact that that religion says it's wrong. But how is that the government's problem? There is the thing, separation of church and state. And the religious people, they go nuts over this stuff, and they outrage about gay marriage, and how is gay marriage any more wrong than our government religiously? I mean, I don't believe in anything any book tells me about a supreme being or anything like that. But what I want to know is how, by their own religion, they don't consider following man-made law to be almost like the first commandment, breaking the first commandment. They're putting somebody else above them when God said that He is the only one to be above us. We are not to put anybody before us aside from God. That may be misquoted, that may not be exact, but I know you understand what I'm saying. And these people, they play into our government. They participate in our voting. They participate in all sorts of politics without realizing that it's more or less equally as detestable as gay marriage. But they outrage about things like gay marriage. Are you religious people out there really that fucking stupid to not realize that our government is basically a sin in itself? I don't get it. This is the only time you're ever going to hear me say this. But the Jehovah's Witnesses actually have it right this time. They don't follow the they don't follow politics. They don't follow any of that. They don't follow the government. They only follow their God. Which, while I don't believe in their God, I praise them. I praise them for doing the right thing and for being themselves and for only following their God. As opposed to, because I'm sure they don't believe in gay marriage, but instead of protesting and voting against it and causing problems with it, they just live and follow their God. And I think that's great. I think that's the only thing that the witnesses have going for them, as far as how much they annoy me. That's about the only thing that they have that doesn't annoy me about them. That that's pretty much all I got. I hit a brick wall there. I was gonna say something else, but anyway, I don't know how accurate most of that is. I don't know if any of it's accurate. It's probably all wrong, but that's just how I feel about the subject. And if you wanna talk to me about it intelligently, I don't want bashing. I don't want why would I subject myself to that? But if you want to talk about it, send me a message here on MySpace, or leave a comment, whatever. We talk on MSN. I prefer to not talk through YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, this is Purity, and it's just how I feel.